All right, I'm ready. Sorry, finally ready to start. Guys, I was eating a jalapeno before starting the stream, and some of the jalapeno juice squirted in my eye. I thought it was over for me. Like, I thought I was gonna go blind. I low-key panicked. Happy Thanksgiving! Are you guys back from your dinners? Or are we all just not celebrating here? I know, it hurt so much, chat! I was freaking out! I was like throwing water in it! It still feels a little bit, stingy. Also today, I don't know if you guys can hear it. Oh, hey, Riffrunner TCG. Yeah, I was gonna do another promo. Guys. Did you know that I'm a playable TCG card now? And so is ConCon, my dear ConCon. So, make sure to go buy your booster packs at riffrunnerstcg.com and use code RIMA for an extra 10% off and to support me, and you'll get something cool in return. First thing I hear when I join the stream is the word squirt. It was jalapeno squirting. It's time to give thanks. I'm thankful for Rima's Opie. Amen. Yeah, Big Dog Muujin is here. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I like vintage shopped a leather jacket, and it said it was like a small size, which is usually what I wear, but I feel like it's a lie because it's so fucking tight I can't even raise my arms, chat. So I'm wearing it right now so I can stretch it. It's kind of uncomfortable, but I think since I'm sitting down, it's probably the best it's gonna get. You can hear it? Can you guys hear this? No, it's not Asian small. No, because it's tight from the shoulders. And I don't have small shoulders. Whitey Borg, thank you so much for the gift. Thank you. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna wear it inside a little bit so it stretches. You know, because leather kind of takes the shape. Your jacket loves you so much it wants to hug you. Yeah, I feel kind of gaslit though. The lady told me it was, she was like, yeah, I'm small and it's like made kind of big. It's probably a medium. I'm like, nah, dude, it's like an extra small. I know what a small's supposed to fit like. This ain't it. No, it's not Asian, chat. It's not Asian. It's a vintage piece. It's a vintage leather piece. I don't think they would get it. It's not like, you know, some AliExpress thing. When you wash things like that, don't they shrink? You can't wash leather. Yeah, she had to make that sale. Yeah, exactly. No, that's what happened. She wanted to make the sale. At least lie and say it's because of the chest. And further, that's the only part that fits. Guys, do you guys understand what vintage mean? I'm getting rage baited by chat right now. What brand is it? There's no brand. It's vintage. And even if it was, it's like an old ass brand. From like some manufacturer probably. Vintage because women were smaller in the past? Or maybe vintage it's as old as Rima. Thanks, chat. Vintage equals hag, yeah. I don't know, were people smaller back then, though? I mean, it does give the jacket, like, a nice mod look. You know, it's very, very fitted. It works if I keep my arms down. But I can't really like, I wouldn't be able to fight somebody in it. Like, if there's a fight that breaks out, I'd probably be in trouble. I'm trying to, like, I can't really, like, hug myself. Well, I can hug myself, but it's uncomfortable, and I feel like my circulation is gonna get cut in my arms. Just don't move your arms, problem solved. I know, like, I can T-pose if I keep the jacket open. Like a men's suit? Wait, you guys can't move your arms up in a suit? Yeah, it does feel like that. Or maybe we're just too used to wearing stretchy clothing. Not really? Okay, well, you know what? Maybe I'm just not used to wearing uncomfortable clothing anymore. The only time I see word vintage is either with wine or prawn. Really? I almost only buy vintage now. You get better mats when it's vintage. You go for the, like, you know, cashmere, wools, leather, fur. Yeah, a men's suit jacket is restricting. Oh. Vintage cigars? Are they still good? Vintage cars must be nice. Yeah. Yeah, vintage jeans too. They used to make that thick jean before. There's a reason we unbutton suits to sit down. I thought that was just decorum. Like, I thought that was just, like, etiquette. I'm going to piss off Peter with this one. No, because it's recycled. So that's fine. Oh, it's a necessity. That's why you guys unbutton the suit jacket. I hate how my tea's kind of cold now. Tepid. It's tepid. Interesting. I'm learning about men's suits. You can get perfectly preserved and smokable pre-embargo cigars for thousands per smoke. Wait. Pre-embargo cigars. That's a 1920s cigar? Oh, Cuban cigars. The Cuban embargo. Oh, okay. I thought you guys were talking about the prohibition. Lol. I was like, damn. I don't know when the Cuban... We didn't have a Cuban embargo here. How the fuck should I know? How should I know about you guys' country? Yeah, I mean, your embargo was in the 60s, Charlie, not mine. We didn't get an embargo. Yeah, true. My bad. I forgot America is the center of the world. Yeah. I heard all the planets also rotate around it. Hold up, I'm raising my arm to sip my tea, so you guys like got to hear the beautiful leather sound. All right, let's get started. Globie, big news. Yeah, it sucks to see an agency like this shut down. They have so many like talented people in it, so many talented staff as well. But I think they probably weren't really making buttloads of money. So the announcement says, Dearest Globies, in December 2023, Globie opened its door to the VTubing world with a dream to reimagine what a VTuber agency could be. We set out to reflect the ever-changing, inclusive spirit of our global community where culture, fandom, and creativity can come together in innovative new ways. It is with a heavy heart that we must announce that Globie will close its doors on 31st December 2025. Our mission was to bring something truly different, and through 3 generations of incredible talents, we aim to show that diversity, ambition, and authenticity could define a new era of VTubing. As the sun sets on Globie, our talents will continue to shine and will begin a new phase of their journey. Each of our talents will continue their VTuber activities independently, taking their character IP forward as their stories continue. We are elated that these remarkable individuals will continue to inspire and shape the VTuber world in their own ways. Their futures are bright, and because of you, their legacy will live on, so please continue to support them. From the bottom of our hearts, we extend thanks to our community and creators, our partners, and the entire VTubing community. Thank you for supporting us in helping unveil the world together. With love and eternal gratitude, the Globie team. Well, at least what I tell myself is that they get to keep their character IP. So, I think it's a good, it's a good strategy. But it seems like it's an IP buyout, and I'm really wondering how much they've had to spend for it. So there was Maev Morvarine here. We were there for her debut. It's kind of bittersweet. Posting and then saying, "Thank you everyone, I love you all, especially Sarah, my own, and senpais." Bonnie's ties were so powerful, they shut the company down. Hey, at least we got to see Bonnie's ties before the company shut down. I'm happy about that. I can die happy now, and so can Globie. I know, Kiri, if she just stayed a little bit longer, she could have gotten her IP. I wonder if they can buy them retroactively. I will be purchasing my IP. I will be gone for 3 months due to heavy workload and family responsibilities. I will still upload POVs. I don't know what I'm doing after that while I'm gone. I think hard as hell about it. Seal kisses and ocean wishes. I mean, if she's gonna buy her IP, surely she needs to keep streaming with it, or we might as well not buy it. Firstly, I want to say thank you. Through this whole year, I have gotten to be more me than I have in ages as Maev Morvarine. My Sealies are unbelievably supportive. I want to thank all of you so much more than anything, especially those that were with me in any capacity during my 1-year anniversary donathon. Thank you to Globie. This year of challenges came with many blessings, and that includes lessons, senpais, friends, ride or dies. Yes, I'll be buying my IP. Hell yeah, that's hot. Fortunately and unfortunately, will also be in Asia for some intense workload and family responsibility from mid-December to mid-March. There's no possibility I will abandon my donathon responsibility, but I do have to say I will not be streaming for that time. I will be continuing to upload POVs, but I will also be taking stock of my life and what is right for me and my communities moving forward during that time. I've been doing this for a long time, and I still love this magical opportunity of storytelling so much. But I also have many other opportunities to contribute in this space, so to properly support me and my communities, I will be making hard decisions in my life. That said, being Maev, your corporate heiress, has only ever been a blessing for me, and my good vibes and high tides will stay how they are able to stay. Please look forward to supporting me and my POVs during this time. Seal kisses and ocean wishes. Maev. That's going to be costly. I don't know. I have no clue. I kind of want to ask them how much it's going to be. I think it's a difficult decision because if the companies don't hold the IPs, then the talents, like they can build up a talent from zero. They can invest in many of them, a lot of money into them, and the talent has no incentive to try hard at all, and then they can just dip and take the model with them. So I get it from like a corporate standpoint why they need to hold the IP, and then buying out the IP, it's a good option to have in theory, but then was it Pixel Link? I can't remember. There was that one agency that shut down, and they were selling the IPs for a lot. And then one of the girls got her IP completely funded by her community in like one stream. But it was kind of like, I think the company was in a lot of debt, so they were trying to recoup some money. And the fans kind of bailed her out, but it's also kind of like a company cop-out. So it really depends on the price they're selling for. I think Squirmimi might have tried to buy it. She tweeted in October about wishing she could buy her IP. Is that why she's been using it? Yeah, Pixel Link started a 10k trend. Like 10k is insane for how I'm sorry to say, like how small their accounts were. So yeah, when the company is closing down and they're not gonna be needing the IPs anymore, then they're like, all right, we can, you know, sell them and try to get back some money, but selling them at an exorbitant price is also not great. Huge doubt she's even getting a response. Okay, well, I guess Kurumi is just using it for fun because she doesn't think that it's gonna be enforced. But yeah, it's funny because I did take a look at her account and she's been posting with her model the entire few weeks, like the last few weeks. It is a great model though. It would be a shame to put that model aside. I'll say that. Yeah, I don't think Globie cares about enforcing the legal stuff that hard. I mean, if she gets to do it for that long, I don't think they care. I think right now Brave Group is trying to appeal to investors, and they're just trying to get rid of all like the parts of the companies that aren't churning out like a lot of revenue, or that may not look as good on paper or as appealing. It was more recent we started doing it. Well, I feel like I looked at it like 2 weeks ago. What are they gonna just sue them with what money? Well, Brave Group has money. They're still part of Brave Group. Oh yeah, we're kind of late on the video and I learned about it right before starting the stream, but the problem is that I have a sponsor for it and my editor thinks that he won't have it finished in time because it ended up being a video that was super long. It was a video that was supposed to be like 25 minutes long and it ended up being an hour and 30 minutes, so fuck my life. Anyway, sorry, slight tangent. I'm going to try to get this problem fixed in the next 3 days, and if I don't stream, it's probably because of that. Okay. Let's read Bonnie's message, because Bonnie was probably one of the big, like, most popular VTubers in Globie. I think Sarah was also doing really, really well for how late she started. She was like part of their most recent gen, and she's great as well. So we're gonna read her message after as well. Bonnie writes, I'd like to begin by thanking all the Barcaneers. Your support has meant more to me than I can never express. Things are about to change, and there will be hard moments ahead, but I believe we can face them together. As per the announcement from management, Globie will be shutting down on December 31st, 2025. It was an absolute honor to be cousins to the incredible talents under Brave Group. I'm truly grateful I got to befriend many of them, and of course, I will continue to cheer them on. I would also like to thank my manager for helping me with so much, literally with everything. I've been given the opportunity to keep my IP, and I've chosen to accept this offer. Starting Jan 1st, 2026, I'll continue my journey as an independent creator, still the same Bonnie Barkswell you've known. Also, they can't get them before January 1st? Oh wait, but they're shutting down on December 31st. Never mind, I'm dumb. There's like a 1-day turnover between the two. If you have any company-related questions, please direct them to management. I also ask that you please be kind and respectful to everyone involved. I know that both talents and management wanted Globie to succeed, and we all tried our hardest. Let's make the final week joyful and full of happy memories before we embark on our next adventure. Thank you again. This will mark the beginning of a new chapter for us. It may not be a brave group talent anymore, but I will still try to be a very brave dog. That's cute. Didn't Brave steal a vampire VTuber model and graduate her in a weird way? That was V4 Mirai. Yeah, but they're different entities and they're managed by like completely different people. I mean, yeah. Like some branches don't even have any contact with the other branches. Okay, let's take a look at Sarah's message. Thank you, Globie and Brave, for allowing me to be part of something so wonderful. Staff, senpais, cousins, and Maev, thank you so much for everything. It's got, think about it like this, guys. Think about it like Azehara saying yes and no. Bro, how the fuck would you know? How the fuck would you know? You heard that on some forum? Like, think about it that way. It's like... Wait, what's the group... Oh, fuck, I forgot the name of my example. Oh yeah, think of it like it's the L'Oreal group. There's like Maybelline in it, and then there's the Dove soaps, and they both have like different philosophies, and they're both ran by different people. Well, yes, Azehara, but there's other groups like VSPO, for example, that are completely separated from them. So it really depends. She'll do fine without Globie. Are you talking about Bonnie? Yeah, I think Bonnie will do fine. We'll do fine without Globie as well. Globie. Yeah. I mean, I think she's really talented and she's got a really nice work mentality and she's really funny and she's been in the scene for a while, so she knows what's up. Alright, so here's Sarah's message saying, Sarallo, with the announcement of Globie's closure now public starting in January 2026, Sarah Luciria will transition to become a fully independent VTuber. I'll own all rights to Sarah Luciria's IP and will continue activities as usual. Content will stay the same and I will do my best to ensure that all paid content will remain as is. However, without the backing of a company, I'm now a one-man team. Please be patient with me as I navigate this new environment. If any change occurs, I will let you know as soon as possible. I hope that you will continue to support me as I step into this next chapter of our grand adventure, Sarah Luciria. I heard that they were, I guess this means that she was getting like decent help from them. I think Shara is really, really talented, and I think she'll do well as an independent character and creator if her fans decide to follow her. Maybe it's Maybelline. Hi Ming, how's it going? There's also Kohaku, which we played League with on stream once, saying, me and the elephant in the room. He will be on stream tomorrow too. When you see him, that means it's okay to be off topic and more specifically to address the elephant in the room. The closure of Globie announcement. You're allowed to ask questions. I can't promise to be able to answer all of them, but I'll do what I can to, at the very least, direct you towards the correct person / place to ask. The one thing I'll say sucks probably more is for the members that debuted in the most recent wave. Because they kind of like barely got time to get, you know, established. And then they already gotta go. I wish I knew more about the situation, but I guess that's why I'm watching this, or am. I'm a very indecisive person. Aren't we all? Honestly, I'm also a very indecisive person. And that's okay. You don't have to make an opinion on everything right away. Even as a content creator, sometimes I feel like I gotta make an opinion on everything that usually we probably wouldn't even have to form an opinion on. Yeah, Kai Sakura was not given the option to buy her model. Did she say that she was not given the option, or did she just decide not to? But Nikki Rai was, and this was while after the merger. It doesn't really make any sense, right? It's not very consistent. Kai did say that. I don't recall the specific words she said, but it's true that she couldn't keep her IP. But she was with Idol. That's different. They're like affiliated with them, but they're not them. But then Nikki Ray, sorry, was also with Idol. She was part of the very early one. And then she gets to keep it. I don't understand. I can't make nose or tail of them. Yeah. Anyway, Miel. Oh my god, I love Miel, by the way. We also played with Miel once. I think last year I had a collab with her and some other Globie members. She was so sweet. She says, first, I would like to thank everyone for all the support and love you gave me since I debuted. Seeing everyone there cheering for me really helped me a lot through these 2 years, and I can never say thank you enough for that. As written in the post below, Globie will be closing down on December 31st, 2025. I've got given the chance to keep my IP, so starting January 1st, 2026, I'll be continuing streaming activities as an independent VTuber. It was really amazing to be able to part of Brave Group and being able to know so many amazing persons as cousins and senpais. Please be kind and respectful to everyone involved and give a lot of love to them. If there's any question, please ask them directly to Globie's management. Mythic Mafia strikes again. And there's also something else that's, I guess, sort of related. Okay, this... I guess I'll follow them. You know how they kept changing the name of Idol Corp, and now I'm so confused. Like, whenever they changed it to Chroma Shift, I was like, who are they? I'm so confused. And now there's this new thing called FTW Entertainment. Hi, Jay. Thank you. So Shabletonia is tweeting, I am affiliated with FTW Chroma Shift now. And let's read the announcement from them. So FTW Entertainment, important information regarding the future of Brave Group US properties and the launch of FTW Entertainment. Oh, does that stand for the win? I don't know. That's the only acronym that I know, but I feel like that's not it. There's no way it stands for the win. Oh, it's from Tokyo to the world? That makes more sense. This is way more Japanese coded. After a long period of restructuring, today marks an exciting new chapter. FTW Entertainment is officially launching as an independent company separate from Brave Group. Oh, they're completely separating. These steps enable us to pursue a renewed vision with greater flexibility and even stronger focus on supporting our talent in today's evolving Western media landscape. As part of this transition, Chroma Shift, N-Light, and Oshi Live will move under the FTW Entertainment label, while V4 Mirai will remain with Brave Group US. This decision aligns with both parties' long-term goals and represents a positive, natural evolution for all parties involved. FTW Entertainment's mission is clear: to nurture and grow our talent, foster creativity, and build a sustainable agency where individuality thrives. With this new venture, it is our goal to ensure that every creator has the support they need to reach their full potential, both during their time with us and in the opportunities that follow. We are deeply grateful to Brave Group for laying the foundation for this company and for the insights and opportunities gained throughout our time together. Their guidance has been invaluable, and although we will pursue different paths as a company, we will continue to support each other as business partners and wish them continued success. Thank you for your understanding and continued support of both FTW brands and talents. We'll continue to share updates here on our new X account as more info becomes available. I wonder, like, what's the point of separating these companies like that? Is it really just so there's more flexibility in the decision so they can move faster because they don't need to, you know, get approval from Brave? Lol, this was gone broken. We just pick a name already. True. I only know the acronym to mean what the fuck or fuck the world. Yeah. Oh, you think that's what's happening? Nico says, what is happening is sometime a lot of businesses would do where they would move low earning properties to a different company when they're planning on selling. I just need to say that, holy frick, this announcement looks awful. If you're going to use a white blue gradient background, then why are you going to use white text? I know, I kind of struggled reading it because of the white text, I'm not going to lie. I mean, this one is from Tokyo to the world. There's more tweets though in regards to that. A few of the idol girls have been tweeting about it. Raf. Oh, alright. Chroma Shift Bus. Okay, I got some questions because at this point I'm so tired. Will the girls be okay? What about the merch we ordered while you were under Brave Group? Oh no! Not this shit again. Didn't Idol used to have so many merch problems? Like, I remember one of my friends, I think he never even received like the merch from some of the girls' debut, and it was like 2 years later. Are we still getting it, or will that have to be refunded? Do we have to wait another 2 months for a frequently asked questions? Last question. Will we ever get the original song? Sorry for seeming rude. Like I said, I'm just so tired of girls we care about being passed around like it's a never-ending game of hot potato. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know, chat. The VTubers and merch companies is like an endless problem. Yeah, what? What the fuck? What the FAQ? Oh, Anya here responded. Hi, I'm not management, but here's what I know. 1, is this a good thing? Yeah, it's supposed to give us more support from staff and more freedom. Merch is still going to be handled by Brave till the new webpage gets set up. And 3, content from talents won't change unless they want to. Thank you, Anya. I appreciate you. I'll continue to put my full trust in you and the others. Please continue to take good care of each other as well. I'm sorry I can't answer everything. I hope this little bit does help ease some worries. Don't apologize. You're good. Thanks again. Thank you. Anya already basically confirmed this. Thank you, Anya, but we'll respond to. Yes, the girls will be okay. This does not directly affect any talents. Chroma Shift as an entire entity is just under a new parent company. Okay. All merch ordered under Brave will be fulfilled by Brave's merch team, and nothing changes there. Okay, so they'll still receive their merch at least. The original song is still happening. We'll share more details when we have them. So now their name is Chroma Shift FTW. I love that Roka's back to streaming, by the way. The plushie. I was working on a plushie too. What happened with that? I think that's a public explanation. The reality is Brave won't be responsible for them anymore. Any problem will be a PR, will go to FTW. Saying FTW sounds so weird. Yeah, I wanted to launch a plushie for Christmas, but it's like we've been in talk for months and I'm not sure what's going on with that. But I got some other stuff planned, some announcements soon. Very exciting stuff. No, the plushie is not by Umu Market. But I've had very good experience with Umu Market, I think. They've been great so far. Okay, so there's another thing that I kind of want to talk about. Do you guys know the YouTuber Nightmind? Does that ring a bell to you? The internet source for exploration of fiction and inspiring unconventional media. He has almost 1 million followers, like 846k subscribers. That's a lot. Yes, so Nightmind. Nightmind used to be Nick Nocturne. Nightmind is a horror YouTuber. He's also a VTuber named Nick Nocturne. Yeah, exactly. And Nick Nocturne, it's crazy how small the world is. I'll show you Nick Nocturne, I guess. Why is there no images of him? This is Nick Nocturne. Like lore video. And to make this even more connected with everything else, he used to be part of Astraline, which is Merryweather's agency. But he graduated in July 12, 2025. Dear Astraline fans, we would like to announce that Nick Nocturne has chosen to depart from Astraline as of July 12, 2025. Nick has been an integral part of Astraline from the beginning. We would like to thank Nick for all the hard work and time he has given us while being a member of Astraline. To all the fans who have shown their love and support, we sincerely thank you, and we wish him the best of luck on all his future endeavors as an independent content creator. But the thing is, there's been a Reddit post today, I believe, that has now been removed by the moderator. Okay, it was 1 day ago. Actually, I lied. And there's been a Google Doc dropped on him that we have archived, where there's some grooming accusations. However, I mean, we'll read it, because I want to see what it's about. And it's not the longest. It's like... It doesn't tell me how long it is, but whatever. It's not being received very well, but I think we can make our own mind about it. No, it's really Astraline. Another day, another docky. Yes, another docky. Light mode. Yeah, well, it's archived, unfortunately, so I don't have... I can't control this. So let's read it. Introduction. A complete documentation of Nick's nocturne action in the past decade. I'm gonna drink some water first, sorry. Wait, Beatrice Beaufort vanished without a trace 5 months ago? And nobody knows where she is, like, and staff hasn't said anything. I really liked her model. If any of this is true, I'm gonna cry. Nightmind is who introduced me to the VTuber community. There's a few plot twists in this story, so just wait till we read it, till you make up your mind. Okay, let's start by reading it. Nightmind, also known as Nick Nocturne, is a YouTuber and content creator who has been creating content covering independent horror projects since July of 2015. Over the past 10 years, he has developed a reputation for supporting and platforming underappreciated works from numerous creators spanning multiple platforms and medium. This extends to hosting the Nightmind Index, an online database where new and aspiring creator within the online horror space can submit their project for review, potentially spotlighting them on live streams and on his main channel. He has also branched out in recent years and has begun doing voice acting in various works, from visual novels and audio dramas to full-length audiobooks and ASMR videos. His most recent work is playing the role of the Black Hat in an audio drama from the animated show Villainous, and some of his works on the series Paranormal Paranoid was featured in the recent found footage adaptation known as Shelby Oaks. His channel also received some viewership from being broadcasted on television, via local networks, through Paranormal TV and its affiliates, and has been featured in an ARG magazine and interviewed for a few different horror-focused websites for his work on YouTube. He also served as the master of ceremonies at the annual Halloween-themed furry convention known as Furpocalypse. What the fuck? Furpocalypse in 2018, 2019, and 2022, hosting the opening and closing ceremonies at those ends. Dude, we gotta go to a furry convention one day just to scratch that off the bucket list. I wanted to share all of his roles here to illustrate his presence, influence, and significance to the community that surrounds various online horror projects and events. He has served as an inspiration and voice of authority within the genre for the better part of the last decade. However, in bold, unbeknownst to many of his casual viewers and general audience, he has a long history of exploiting, manipulating, and taking advantage of both his closest supporters and some that once considered him a friend until they began questioning or criticizing action that he has taken throughout the past decade. Throughout this document, I want to illustrate a pattern of behavior through a long history of scandals and incidents that have occurred several times throughout his online career and how he responds to them, as well as exposing his more general audience to some of the lesser known things that he's engaged in behind the scenes, including the emotional grooming of at least one fan over private DMs. Hey Loom Loom, thank you so much for the cute squad. Thank you for the 14 months, Loom Loom. I hope you're doing great. Dude, we gotta put a statute of limitation on these Google Docs. I think going back in the past decade is a little too much. Okay, I encourage you to read the entire document and view all the links, yada yada. Harassment and drama. Going back as early as 2017 and as recently as September 2025, Nick has a long history of drama, scandals, and bad actions that I want to document here, ranging from repeatedly ignoring the stated boundaries of a friend, ostracizing and condemning those he's had personal disagreements with, lashing out at fans, and victim blaming, but I'll let you be the judge. Copying him. Starting in 2017, Nick's earliest issues involved him singling out certain channels that he claimed were copying him. During one instance, he came into conflict with two channels of note, Rainbot and Nightmare Expo, today known as Nexpo. Some of his grievances at the time including people simply using the word night or nightmare in their username because he believed that they were too similar to his own, going after smaller channels and creators for this and other reasons until the backlash became significant enough. Back in 1987, he harassed me. Nexpo has a different presentation. I'll trust you on that because I actually don't watch... Well, you guys know, I don't watch any horror stuff because I get too scared. I think Lumi is into horror stuff as well. While many of the tweets and posts from this drama are deleted now, a trend that will continue as Nick has a habit of trying to cover his tracks when the optics aren't in his favor. Some people manage to screenshot and archive some of his behaviors in instances such as this, expressing criticism towards these creators and the content they produced until they smoothed things over. Is this gonna work? Oh yeah, it did. What is this? Like some forum post? Voice asked, "Yo, what did Nightmind do? What did Nightmind do? I've watched him for a long while, but I've never heard of him being problematic." And then RoboPitcher responds, "Sorry for being a bit late on this. The most recent drama involves an altercation between Rachel, one of his patrons, and himself. The basic gist of it is that Rachel criticized Nick for not having a vent channel in his Patreon exclusive Discord. Frankly, a reasonable request. No, it's not. And made some threatening statement within the messages to Rachel. Another person pointed out that Nick might have misgendered May/Nick's fears, but who knows if we'll ever get a clarification on that. Oh, okay, so the issues from 10 years ago are still the same as today. Speaking of May, she confirmed on Twitter that Nick stated he didn't have a vent channel because he didn't want to give the people a hug box, which is outlined in this post as being ableist. Speaking of ableism, Nick has had malfunctions in recent and past with it. I don't have any link as a buffer on this one, but Nick retweeted a tweet using the R slur. Oh ho ho. Obviously deleted now. The screenshots are still there. Okay, are they just gonna like soy out the entire time? Louder for the people in the back. You should totally check out this uninspired ARG that is half based on shit that already exists. I don't understand what this is supposed to show. You should totally check out this totally uninspired ARG that is half based on shit that already exists. It's like people don't understand what the purpose of your channel is, to highlight creative and you indie content, not to give attention to the binary "I am God" R words. You could make the argument that he didn't see the slur. You could say he didn't see it at first and delete it. Once he realized, I'm going to go ahead and call it as him wanted to cover his own ass. This tweet sparked a decently long discussion on the issue of how Nick goes over and analyzes horror material. As for older dramas, I'm going to need to do more research and find more tangible sources. But from my memory, Nick went on a huge Twitter rant about how other smaller horror YouTubers were stealing his thing, aka discussing horror material in a calm voice while having Nightmare in your name. The only documentation I have on this is currently his Reddit thread. Wait, not his Reddit thread, this Reddit thread. But hopefully I'll get more substantial stuff. Another thing to note in general is that Nick has changed friends. Oh. God forbid he changes friends. His inner circle quite often. While you could chalk it up to just drifting interest, the fact it happens so often is indicative of some of color behavior, which how he treats his friend, as well as some admitting they had a falling out with him. I can add to this. In regards to Undercooked Gate, a series of drama referring to the Creepypasta podcast, Undercooked Analysis, Nick was a formerly frequent guest on the show after their video on 1999, a controversial series which plagiarized Alan Tutorial, but that's a story for another day. This was one of his friend circles, David Allen and Dead Palette, who had the most issues with Nick, which he put in his own words here. TLDR, Nick was friends with Max Landis, the director of the TV adaptation of Candle Cove. Dead Palette and another co-host had issues with the show. Nick gets mad at the two. Oh, I can't make this bigger. As well as comment from people on this subreddit who were present at the time of these conflicts that can provide additional context. Yeah, some people are saying that he made a series of tweets claiming other people copied him. Some other creators had called him out on these posts and just quickly devolved into a huge mess. So there was a lot of angry tweets. But yeah, making a scary channel and using the words nightmare is not copying, so that was kind of an L on his part, but... Okay, what else? Are we gonna get some real accusations? Nick's fears. Following this, the most significant drama of Nick's early career came from a creator known as... Also, like, using the R word... back then is not even that big of a, like, it wasn't even a thing back then, I think. This is a Tumblr post. That shit must be ancient. Tumblr? Like, who goes on Tumblr anymore? Was it ever really a problem? No, I don't think so, but some people do get offended when you use it, so I try like to keep the stream family friendly. Personally, I don't think it's a problem. But like, you know, if somebody tells me, oh, it offends me, please don't use this word around me, I'll be like, of course, you know? It's not a big effort for me. Did I DC? Oh, my chat disconnected. I'm back. Okay. Copying him. Starting in 2017, Nick's earliest issues involve him singling out certain channels that he claimed were copying him. Oh no, sorry. I've already read that. The fuck am I doing? Okay. Following this, the most significant drama of Nick's early career came from a creator known as Nick's Fears, also known as May. Nick and Nick collabed on a stream in which Nick invaded their space and touched them without their consent in a way that made Nick feel deeply uncomfortable. Despite their repeated attempts to express their discomfort with his behavior, he persisted and believed he'd done nothing wrong in the aftermath until the backlash became significant enough, claiming that Nick had backstabbed him and betrayed their friendship until the truth came out on the matter. Mix documented their feeling in this now deleted post here. Hello, Rima. Hopefully you're having a good Thursday. Off to bed. Take care and good night, everyone. Have a good night, Vicky, and thank you for the super chat. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Is this also Tumblr? This is crazy. I've barely seen any Tumblr posts in my life. A very bad post. Hey, love, so let's talk about dysphoria. It can manifest in a number of terrible ways, and growing up with dysphoria can be difficult because often it gets unidentified. You look at yourself and you hate yourself and feel powerless to fix it, but you track it down to just an inherent ugliness. Wait, what does that have to do with Nick? Okay, anyway, I'll keep reading. There are a billion things that make me dysphoric, but my biggest dysphoria trigger has always been my explicitly masculine hairline and forehead shape. Because of this, I've worn hats since I was 14 every single day without fail. It became kind of my thing, but it stopped me from experiencing painful dysphoria. So now this post is going to get very sad and bad. I'm going to preemptively warn you all if you have severe dysphoria trigger. So Nick Nocturne came to visit me July 2017. We spent around a week together and had an alright time. When I think about that week, I can't help but think about one specific thing he did and how it affected me. Now it's important to point out that at this time I was not openly trans to him, or anyone really. But that shouldn't matter a ton in regards to this. Nick was fascinated with my hat and wanted to see what was under it. The first conversation about it, he just asked candidly what I was hiding and told me to take it off, and I said no. He kept pushing me to take it off, and I had to very directly say no, never. That's the end of the conversation. He brought it up vaguely a couple other times, but this all came to heat during a live stream. We did exactly one live stream while he was there, and it was awkward and weird and ended very badly. He didn't want to appear on camera, as he ironically is very guarded about his appearance, so he wore a cat puppet on his hand and then put that in the shot with me, and we answered question. The stream is fairly broy and stupid, and I wouldn't say it represents me well, especially now, but it's also horribly awkward because he kept rubbing the cat puppet, his hand, on my body. There are several moments during the stream where you can see me cringe because I didn't know why he was touching me so much, and I couldn't escape or say anything because we were on stream. Then it gets monumentally worse when Nick says, "I think I'll take this," and tries to take my hat off stream. I was able to save it, but the damage had been done. My dysphoria was beyond damage, and 5 minutes later, the stream ended because my soul had left my body. Immediately after the stream, I asked him why he would do that, when I firmly told him no, and he lied to my face and said it was an accident and he meant to just pet my head, which is weird anyway. I think I'll take this. Nick Nocturne tried to humiliate me intentionally on a live stream after using my captivity to touch me without consent. This is from someone who continually insists that I'm a backstabber for ending our friendship, but guess what? I kept our friendship going for months after this. I tolerated this feeling inside me that someone I considered a friend would intentionally do this to harm me in front of the only thing I had in my life. Over the course that week, he saw my life and heard many of my struggles, and I made it fairly clear that YouTube was all I had, and he tried to humiliate me and hurt me with the only thing I had, and it's all on a video. Okay. Am I gonna have a controversial take? I think trying to cancel somebody over a hat, I think we're pushing it a little bit here, but also I do think that he was rude, and I think he didn't read the room very well. And I don't appreciate people that have no tact and that make a situation awkward. I think these kind of people are sloppy, and I don't really enjoy discussing with them. But that doesn't mean I would make a Google Doc or a post about them. But I do feel bad for the person talking if they had dysphoria and this triggered their dysphoria. But I don't think Nick did it on purpose, because as the speaker, the OP of the thread said, he didn't know about his dysphoria. Someone close to Nick's Skellyfish was also present during this collab, reported on their experience with Nick in a now deleted post that you can find in the Reddit thread surrounding Nick's post right here. Oh, which one is it? Huh? Skellyfish. Basically, during his time staying at May's house, Nick acted in a very incredibly condescending way towards Skelly when the two of them met and tried to isolate them from May. Skelly talked about it a bit here. That was 7 years ago, chat. Oh, there's nothing here. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I mean, look. I'm not too sure why they would link to somebody talking about Skellyfish and then it's a dead link. It's highlighted, but it's highlighted to a dead link. Yeah, there's nothing there. Here's some additional posts from Nyx. When I discontinued our friendship, I lost many a friend and supporter, felt dejected and miserable, and felt like none of them would hear my side. I've kept quiet for over a year to prevent further damage. There's a lot more, but it's easily the worst thing did to me. Okay, well. This is incredible victim blame right here on this day. Nick was the second person I came out to when I eventually did, because he kind of made me tell him. I don't need a reason for personal boundaries, and I'm sorry, but I'm what ways is him touching me somehow my trust issues. I will refrain from commenting on that. I think we can just move on. As well as noting that Nick had a long history of hiding behind his work as a noble cause, using it as a shield to deflect criticism, while also putting down others who tried to do the same in his early days and acting as though he was an arbiter on what makes a web series good. Oh, they give the text of it in the replies? Oh, okay. Hold up. Oh, yes, they do. Nice, nice. Okay, so this is what Skellyfish said. I'll say this, I was there when Nick visited that week, and when I met him, he was condescending to me, spoke to me like I was a child who didn't know anything about YouTube, mansplaining things to me. I mean, when he did speak to me, that is, he really made me feel othered. Oh, I've never heard that word before. Maybe it means like an other. He seems like he wanted me to leave whenever I was around, and so I was only around for 1 or 2 days, even though me and May spent like most of our time together, and especially at this time. Not that we can't spend time apart, which is rude. He kept trying to isolate May and ignore me. He assumed I watched all of his videos and referenced them frequently, especially when trying to tell me how to make videos without me even asking him to tell me how. I don't watch his videos. He basically impromptu decided to fly out for a week and disrupt our lives. And then we just had to cancel anything we were thinking about and just confirm to his schedule and whatever he said. That week was a total shit show. Okay, well, I guess the guy's kind of an egocentric asshole. I don't need to tell you how he constantly talks about how his channel is a good deed of promoting indie creators, only for him to turn around and shit on people for trying their best. In response to all of his information, Nick did post a lengthy apology that I'll get to in the third section of this doc. And while Nick did eventually forgive Nick in the following years, I'm not as convinced that he's changed, as you'll see as we progress. For now, I just want you to consider the experiences these two individuals had with Nick during this collab. Also, that's why the posts were deleted, because that matter was settled. Othered is ostracizing the person in a contrast between us groups and other group. It's one of those academic terms that have become a buzzword for stupid people. Oh, okay. I see. Well, I'm gonna go to bed smarter today. Hugbucks in 2018. In the aftermath of the incidents with Nick's fears, Nick also came under fire for some of his behavior in his own Patreon exclusive Discord server. One of his moderators, named Rachel, wanted to create a safe space for his fans to vent and feel comfortable. Nick objected to this idea and didn't want to create a hugbox for people. This behavior is documented in some archived Tumblr posts such as this one. Some highlights of his... I don't feel like clicking on the Tumblr post. I think the screenshots might be enough. Some highlights of this message are not going to be shown here. Oh my god, Tom Lopez with 50 gifted subs! Woo! Thank you! Happy Thanksgiving! Thank you! Hi, Melanrina. Oh my god, thank you so much, guys. This is so dumb. Yeah, I had a feeling this document would be funny. That's why I wanted to read it. Wow, thank you so much for the gifts. Seriously, thank you, thank you. 50 memberships, yay! We're building back our empire. World domination, one step at a time. Okay, maybe I do need to click on that after all, because I'm not getting the... Jess the Queen says, this is abuse. While abuse specifically refers to a pattern of behavior that is nearly impossible to verify through a few screen caps, we are here documenting the fact that Nick Nocturne is known to treat fans of his work in such a condescending and dismissive manner. The first 3 screen caps refer to Rachel, a moderator of his Patreon exclusive Discord server. Nick Nocturne's comments about may refer to Nick's fears, another vlogger and former collaborator. They had a quiet falling out sometime earlier this year. May's response here lead us to believe it was along similar lines as what Rachel had experienced. And the screenshot from Nick is like, Rachel, this shit is tough, but for your own better judgment, you have to look in the mirror and say, I am a fully grown and competent 28-year-old woman. I'm an adult. One simple statement. Copy and paste what I wrote if you want. You don't need to talk to him. Just confirm that he's getting across, and let's end this here and now with no more squabbles. And please, Rachel, please, you and I squash our beef. Hatchet buried. This hatchet, let's bury the hatchet sentence is giving me PTSD from that document about the bunny girl. Please stop sniping me. We are done fighting each other and lying about it to ourselves and each other. Moving on with the day now. Just copy and paste. Pick yourself up. You can do this. Let's roll on. And if I see a single message, tweet, Tumblr post, or anything from May attacking me on your behalf in any form over this, you and I are forever done, you understand? This is you and me and you as adults. No side people or third parties. Let's keep that respect and maturity. Deep breath now. Calm down. Do what you gotta do and know we'll be good. Okay, so it seems like they had beef though. So there was a lot of tense atmosphere. There's also this message from Nick referring to Nick's May from earlier, providing further context to their past issues and the nature of the relationship at the time. Point blank, you play nice and be general. Stop giving moments of sarcasm and shade at myself and others trying to get away with passive aggression and a pushing of everything your head's been filled with by the most unforgiving and begrudging person I've ever had the misfortune to be stabbed in the heart by, and you chill out. Be general, be nice, be casual. Roll your eyes when you see stupid things and move on. No lectures, no more tiny statements to get away with pissing down my back. And it's like Nick's fear saying, I have a feeling this one's talking about me. I'm not sure why it's edited or censored that way. But Like, is this is Nick saying that? Well, if he has beef with his moderator and his moderator keeps giving him passive-aggressive statements, lectures, and moment of sarcasm, it's like, shut the fuck up, you know? He has the right to put his boundaries. Who wants to be around somebody like that? You can't trust somebody on your team when they're acting that way towards you with resentment. At this point, you know, just say, we're done. Our friendship's over. And if they want to bury the hatchet and keep on remaining friends, obviously she can't do that. Dead Palette and Slime Bees. For a time in 2018, Nick was a regular guest on a podcast called Midnight Marinara. Now let's mod shit talk you. Nothing bad would happen, trust. If it's friendly banter, that's fine. He moderated and participated in several conversations about various horror topics with 3 main hosts. These were David, Alan, and Brandon. Brandon was also known as Dead Palette. Another friend of Nick and a close friend of Dead Palette was Slime Beast. For those familiar, Slime Beast was a fairly well-known creepypasta writer. In the early days of the genre, he was also a regular guest and participant in this podcast for discussions. Also in 2018, Nick was sponsored on his Patreon by a Hollywood producer named Max Landis, whom he also considered a friend. Max Landis was later outed as a sexual pred during the Speaking Out movement. The Speaking Out movement, isn't it Me Too? Isn't it called Me Too? And his reputation before this scandal was said to be an open secret in Hollywood. The earliest allegation during his own scandals came in December 2017, which predates his association with Nick in 2018. Landis had purchased the right to a few popular creepypasta and wanted to produce content for a show entitled Channel Zero, bringing them to life. With Landis also being a Patreon sponsor for Nick, he wanted to make sure people he was associated with didn't criticize the show too much to stay in Landis' good grace. Max was a turbo creep? You guys know this guy? Max Landis, you guys know this guy? Dear Palette and Slime Beast both took issues with this, especially Brandon, and Nick proceeded to become frustrated at them not forgiving him when he tried to apologize for this. Here's one such statement from Brandon/Dead Palette about their issues with Nick at the time. It's a bit blurry, so I've transcribed it below. Channel Zero is a short adaptation of Candle Cove, a per one. I messaged executive producer Max Landis on Twitter saying the adaptation was off the mark. Very soft criticism if you ask me. Landis was rude to me, but that was the end of it, or so I thought. A bit later, Nick Nocturne contacts myself and another person in a private chat telling us not to critique Channel Zero. When I asked why I would fulfill such an odd request, Nick became abusive towards me. I continued to question him, and it came to light that Nick is friends with Max Landis, so he privately admits that Channel Zero looks lackluster to myself and others, but was planning on making a video covering it in a positive light. Nick phrased his relationship with Max as a supporter. Take that as you will, but as completely gross for both parties, as Nick was trying to keep his relationship under wraps. So Nick is privately trying to silence critics of shows his friends make. All the while, he was claiming to be a journalist to myself and others. How he didn't understand that made things 100 times worse, I don't know. After telling him he was being a dick, he apologized by asking me to work for him for free. What the fuck? Writing and voice work I didn't accept. For 2 reasons. Firstly, I don't get paid in publicity, and you can't curry me my favor with it. Secondly, he wanted absolution for something he did that was clearly unethical. I wasn't willing to give that to him. I stopped responding to his messages. In the following months, Nick would start contacting mutual friends, asking if I was still mad. He was emotionally manipulating our friends into trying to get me to work with someone I didn't want to work with. I know he was manipulating them because he tried the same stuff with me, repeatedly insisting that we were friends because we chatted for like 2 hours for a show. I think he was doing it because he didn't want me to go public with this, but I had no intention of doing that or making further comments about Channel Zero. I was just done with him and the situation. Wait, so throughout this entire time, they knew that Max was like, was a sexual predator? I explicitly told David not to have Nick on our show. He agreed. Alan knew I didn't want him around, and Nick obviously knew, as we had one last 30-minute Skype chat where I told him not to. I hate drama, but Nick loves that stuff, as I know. I was the only drama focused around him behind the scenes. His fans might not like this comment, but Nick Nocturne is dishonest and isn't afraid to lie for his friends. I don't want there to be confusion about this. I'm leaving UCA because my co-host couldn't accept my request. I didn't make issues about working with him on other stuff, but a show I helped build has been hijacked by someone that has no moral fiber. I'm sorry to everyone that liked my presence on the show, but the situation isn't workable. David picked promotion over friends. Yes, this is real. Not a joke. I don't know what's happening with the flaming unit. Sorry about that too. Nick sounds like a dick. He sounds like somebody that wants to put his own self-interest above everybody else. During a private discussion I had with Slime Beast throughout the course of my research, he personally recalled the story to me in the following way. Oh god, my granny eyes can't read this. He sounds like the average content creator, so a typical mainstream celebrity. But where's the proof? I mean, this is just one of the guys explaining, one of the guy named Dead Palette explaining why he's leaving the channel he helped start it, basically. So he gives like this little explanation. As far as I recall, Nick had Max Endis as a Patreon sponsor. I wanted to not only keep him as such, but probably get in the good with a movie/TV producer. Max Endis brought the rights to some creepypastas and put on a TV show called Channel Zero that Dead Palette and I figured was going to suck. Nick approached Dead Palette and I and asked us not to publicly diss the show. So Nick was trying to like censor his friends. And I mean, you can't really tell other creators not to talk about something because it doesn't really fit your own interest. So I understand why Dead Palette pushed back on that. Didn't want to be associated with people speaking ill on the project. I thought it was lame, but dismissed it as whatever because I hadn't planned on talking about the show anyway. Okay, fair enough. After all these events, I saw how it turned out and changed my mind, lol. Dead Palette took it more personally and was really grossed out by a supposed friend asking him to censor himself publicly to keep Nick's money and connection secure. The two of them had a falling out privately with the understanding that Nick wouldn't come back on a podcast Dead Palette co-hosted and they were done being friends. Sometime after that, the other podcast host went behind Dead Palette's back and had Nick on an episode he wasn't around. Oh, drama! So Dead Palette quit the show and walked away from the co-host as friends as well. Wow, his co-host betrayed her. That's top 10 anime betrayal. Nick publicly made a Tumblr post that went on and on and on about how he shouldn't have asked Dead Palette to censor himself, but then he really laid into him, blaming Palette for being mean, reacting poorly, all that shit. In this Tumblr post, Nick also smeared me for zero fucking reason just to try to make it worse for Dead Palette since I was still friends with him. Oh. He got drive-by potshots. Basically, it comes down to Nick putting money and influence over friendship, a former friend getting really mad at that, and Nick still trying to play victim the entire way through. Okay, this is the last line was a great TLDR to the situation. Yes, me too. This document has so far succeeded in making me hate both Nick and the writer of the document, reject humans, and embrace puppies. I mean, well, I guess we're not very far in the document, so maybe I shouldn't make up my mind so far. But so far, it's kind of like, okay, we get Nick's an asshole, and like this, it's like he's putting money and influence over his friendships. He's a shitty fucking friend, and he looks like a narcissist. But I'm like, do we really need a fucking Google Doc for that? Like, really? What are the core accusations here? Cut to the chase. He also provided a link to an archived video detailing Nick's own response to this incident and NetPilot refusing to forgive him, as you can find here. I'm processing this sentence. Okay, whatever. I think we understood the scenario. We get it. We get it. The dude just has like no moral spine. Like no, not moral spine, but he just doesn't have a strong... Yeah, he doesn't have a strong spine. You can... I don't think we need to watch the video. Fuck that. Regardless of your opinion on NetPilot's behavior in this situation, I do personally believe they were being more difficult than was needed. True, I believe that too. I feel like NetPilot's overreacted a lot. He could have just, I feel like this guy's reaction, the one that was writing this screenshot, was more normal. NetPilot seems like somebody that's extremely principled and that like freaks out if something doesn't align with his principle, and seems like he's made like this big intense situation out of it when he could have just said, well, no, I'm not gonna do that, and I'm just gonna talk about whatever. So sorry, but it's not gonna happen. However, his co-host going around his back and inviting Nick, well, that is pretty shitty. I understand why he quit after. But he made the like, yeah. Love your videos, Rima. Thank you. I don't hate them because they're bad people. I didn't hate them because they annoy me. Just wanted to clear that up. Yeah. No. We're on the same vibe here. Yeah, being a jerk behind the scene isn't enough for cancellation. We need some real shit. Exactly. Crypt TV. In 2018, Nick began covering a short film sharing platform known as Crypt TV. To my knowledge, these videos are still publicly viewable. He covered this platform, promoted it, given it a favorable view. However, he didn't express at the time that he was a collaborator with Crypt TV and stood to gain from the platform's promotion. Slimebeast also covered this issue in a video here, mentioning that Nick was listed as a partner in Crypt TV's website weeks before his first video covering the project. Nick continued to promote the platform several months later. So him being listed on the channel as a partner is official. No, it's not like they're trying to hide it. Noting in that video that when he tried to bring this issue to the attention of Nick's community on Reddit, he was banned, but was informed by another on the website that Nick himself personally told the mods to remove Slimebeast's post and ban him. Nick contacted the mod team. They're not exactly sympathetic to you, so I don't think I could do anything without redacted. Sorry. I mean, like, the dude tried to start shit in his subreddit, though. What did you expect? This isn't YouTube drama. Go post this in our YouTube drama. Or message him. Tribe12/Adam Rosner. In the early days of this channel, Nick, I feel like we're getting all this deep lore on somebody that we would have otherwise never dived into it. Yeah, we're still at 2018. Oh, did our YouTube drama not exist back then? I know, this isn't even that guy's docky. The person who wrote the doc, I don't even know if something happened to them yet with Nick. Yeah, he's just including every controversy of him. I feel like he's making a video, like, he's making a Read My Even Star video on Nightmind. Yeah, he's collecting them. Except all of his accusations have been, like, super soy so far. Like, he's soying out. Even the shit that got settled. Yeah, whenever something is deleted off the internet, like a call-out post or something, I sometimes wonder, like, why? You know, why? And then we found out that one of those things with May, for example, was deleted because it was settled. So, I feel like it weighs a little bit less. But the OP is trying to establish a quote-unquote pattern. In the early days of this channel, Nick has expressed a great love of his project known as Tribe 12, alongside Marble Hornets and Everyman Hybrid. All three were influential and well-received Sunderman projects that Nick covered in great detail in several different series, comprised of several parts each. Tribe 12 was a favorite of his, and he invited the creator onto the channel for his annual Candy Bowl special around Halloween 2018. In 2020, it came to light that Adam Rosner, the creator of Tribe 12, who played the lead role of Noah Maxwell, had groomed and emotionally manipulated several fans in private chats and calls. Over the preceding years, you can find an archive of the timeline of the scandal here. Groomed underage fans? He reached out to Nick when all of this information first came out, and Nick defended him briefly before backtracking as the evidence became too great to deny any longer. Rushing out a lengthy statement condemning Noah and his experience with him over the course of the scandal as it unfolded, playing the victim and eventually deleting it when the feedback he received turned against him. We'll cover the apology in the third section of this document. Okay, but I think it's fine to defend somebody when there's no evidence and then change your mind when more evidence comes out. Like, is it not okay to change your mind as more information comes out? Was he just supposed... I think giving the benefit of the doubt to somebody you know at first is okay. You know, we don't need to just throw everybody under the bus as soon as there's a call-out post, because there's been a lot of call-out posts that have been fake. Here's the plan. Starting in late 2022, Nick began streaming on Twitch, eventually adopting a VTuber model after joining the VTuber agencies known as Ex-Astraline. Hey, that's us! It's the VTuber part. Alongside Merryweather Media, Fred Knudsen, LumiTuber, Alphite, and AOFE as one of its founding members. More on Ex-Astraline later, but for now I want to focus on Nick himself. He began uploading some VODs for his streams and promoting his work on his two channels shortly after this, but began receiving some negative feedback from some members of his core audience. In response to this, he uploaded a video entitled Here's a Plan in September 2023. While this video had long since been deleted, comments on the response from his audience on his subreddit and wider community discuss him cussing out his fans and telling them to leave if they didn't like the new content. You can read about that here. Backlash to this video was significant enough that he seems to have deleted it within 3 to 4 months based on what I was able to find on the Wayback Machine. This honestly turned me off of his YouTube channel entirely. It came across as if you don't like me doing VOD dumps on my Twitch streams to YouTube as my new form of content, and fuck off, so I unsubbed, and that's that. What causes? I get he wants to make a point, but cussing out your audience isn't good. He put himself in this situation. He stopped getting the views he used to because the type of content on there has dramatically changed. ARGs have been swapped out for real-life horror and analog horror, which are both things this channel isn't a fan of. Because of this, he took on Sponsor, which require you to create X amount of videos that clear Y amount of time, and the expected viewership dictates future sponsorship. I can't prove it, but I suspect that channel took on multi-month sponsors and was releasing content that cleared the time marker on popular topics. What? At Wagger, that some of the sponsors saw that he's Not getting the 1 million plus viewers he used to, and his subscriber count has stagnated for the work he's putting in, so they aren't re-upping their sponsorship with him. No point in paying for an ad when it's the exact same people watching that ad. Another thing that points to this being the case, they moved to Twitch. It's easier to get money out of Twitch for coverage of popular work than it is on YouTube when your viewership is low. That's not true. Alright, we're in 2024 now. Whew. In 2024, Alex Kister, the creator of the popular analog horror story The Mandela Catalog, was accused of grooming some younger fans by his ex. Nick was one of several who jumped on the bandwagon railing against him as a result of this accusation. You can find several sources detailing this piece of drama, including several YouTube videos documenting the case, with this Reddit post serving as the final word on it for the most part. Nick backpedaled on his attack quickly and put out an apology that was criticized by many for still putting a lot of blame on Alex for not understanding power dynamics and characterizing the ex's actions as noble, despite their expressed intent to destroy Alex's career due to their own grudge/vendetta against him. As you may expect by now, his post involved in this drama and his final apology has been deleted and wiped from the internet at this point, but someone Reddit managed to salvage his post to provide some further context here. I don't think the... We can't see the initial apology. Deleted post on Van's Tumblr in which he admits Alex is not a PDF file, nor a legitimate groomer, and then uses "don't be a groomer" as justification for ruining Alex's career and outing them as trans. Admits the use of the word groomer was to describe actions done by adults to other adults, not to the universally understood definition, which involves child abuse. References and agrees with also deleted Tumblr posts by Tumblr user Kiwi accusing Alex of being trans to lure victims. Important note about this post, the statement was made 4 full days after the original doc was posted by Van, meaning Van waited 4 full days to make a statement saying stop calling Alex a PDF file, and made that post on a separate platform than where he posted the original doc. Wait, Van? I thought we were talking about Nick. Nani? Is Nick's name like Van or some shit? Like, I don't get it. Because the initial link, like, this links to Nick's Nocturne's X account. Is Nightmind Van? No. Van wishes. Nightmind is a YouTuber who has horror content. Okay. And Van is just some random person that dated Alex. Their only claim to fame is this BS they're putting Alex through. Okay, I don't care that much. I'm just gonna move on. This docu makes no sense. Repop and hypocrisy in most recent incidents from September 2025 was he took a hiatus from streaming for over a month. Nick played a game known as Lollipop Chainsaw Repop on his livestream on Twitch. During this stream, individuals in his chat expressed concerns about the developers of the game. Not noting that the developers had issued a statement prior to the game's release that were critical of DEI initiatives and policies. Nick has previously and currently expressed opinion consistent with support of these policies, yet when these concerns were raised by chat members, he took on a condescending and dismissive tone toward the concern of these viewers. His mod banned those that mentioned, and Nick continued to praise the game for several hours until backlash began to mount on Twitter and Blue Sky! No shot! From viewers who had been banned for expressing their concern. To be clear, the content of the policies themselves isn't the primary focus here, but rather Nick's apparent support of them, only to disregard and belittle the concerns of others that he was praising a product made by people who explicitly oppose those policies he claims to support. Yeah, guy is, yes, he's very angry. This doc seems to be made by a Blue Sky user. I blocked out their name and handle for privacy reasons since they've dropped the issue and were not involved in the making of this doc, but I feel their words are crucial to understanding the nature of the situation. With the most recent example that I'm aware of, where he became condescending and disrespectful toward anyone in the chat that expressed their concerns regarding his actions and behavior, as well as calling out people who continued chatting and ignoring the issue altogether, and how Nick made himself look good coming out of it. He was called out on this by several people on social media. I was sitting next to my friend who on their 10 million subscriber message asked Nick to address that he was banning people for bringing up the developer's DEI statement. He then took out a condescending tone and began to talk about YouTube. My friend typed, "Nah, I don't care about that," and before they could send their next response, which was going to be, "But what I do care about is why you are showcasing this game. I want to keep being a fan of yours. Banned." Nick then got to say in so many words, "Well, if you don't care about that, I can't say anything else." He then played the game and praised it for hours. My friend said to me, "Well, maybe I shouldn't have brought it up being disappointed in the YouTube channel at all. Probably my fault." You know what? As soon as I see the Blue Sky handle, I kind of just want to disregard everything they said. The apology screenshot is in the comments so long as basically it's on Docky. Oh, bro, fuck that. We're only like 40% in. I think I'm just gonna keep reading. Like, I opened Blue Sky the other day and some people were mad at me for the mildest, fucking tamest shit tweet that I've done like a year ago. Or two, I don't know. As well as providing some context for people who continue chatting while completely ignoring the issue altogether. So if somebody's bringing down the vibes, I think it's fine to ban them. And if they're being annoying, you're allowed to moderate your community however you want. Was he being hypocritical by saying that he supports DEI initiatives and then platforms this game? Maybe, but then again, a lot of people accuse companies sometimes of some political shit, and then it turns out to be fake, so I feel like I don't want to just believe this at face value either. Like the Hogwarts stuff, for example. The game isn't against DEI though. Oh, so you know which game he's talking about? You know about this game, I mean? Yeah, Blue Sky is nothing but infighting. And it's a mega hug box. Because it's all the people that couldn't handle Twitter. I went there. Oh, you guys think they're actually talking about Hogwarts? Oh. Okay. Well, that's silly. At which point he proceeded to write a long apology expressing remorse and decided to take a hiatus from streaming for over a month and never bring it up again. Both those who called him out and I doubt the sincerity of his apologies for a reason I will get into later section of this doc. Nothing that they need to see changes in his behavior. before changing their opinion on his actions. He also deleted any clips or videos related to his stream, once again purging any evidence of him being condescending and dismissive towards the concern of others, until the backlash reached a point where he was forced to respond to save face. It was only after this that he only had 2 streams to his Twitch channel surrounding Halloween 2025 before a final stream announcing the ending of his VTubing career. The Lollipop Chainsaw Massacre. It has nothing to do with DEI. Yeah, yes, you're right. It is Lollipop Chainsaw. Repop. That's the name of the game, so it's not Hogwarts. Even they say it, but we forgot. Section 1 conclusion. Throughout this career up to this point, every year or so, Nick has found himself involved in some significant controversy within the community and almost never comes out of it looking good. He then purges and deletes anything that could reflect on him negatively and pretends as if it never happened. As mentioned earlier, he has a long history of deleting and hiding things when the optics are not in his favor. To this end, there's always an element of damage control on Nick's behalf, trying to control the situation before it got too out of hand. That's something I feel toward many of his apologies that we'll be getting soon. This has happened many times throughout his career, and every time he only apologizes to save face and protect himself. Okay, sexual content and exploitation. Since at least the late 2010s, Nick has engaged in a series of questionable behavior towards his closest followers and supporters that has progressively escalated over the past several years. As noted earlier, Nick began VTubing in late 2022 and became a founding member of Ex-Astraline in 2023. From the beginning, Nick was known to have a flirtatious and sexually charged personality. In his own words, in his debut livestream, he views carnage and carnality as connected in his mind during a portion where he describes his fondness for not safe for work content. His avatar mascot character model of the four-eyed cat demon is, in his own words, an incubus. Tom. That is so sexual, guys. Like, how dare he have an incubus model? Many of the people he has interacted with in this way have been more than 10 years younger than him, and sometimes, gasp, as young as 18 or 19. Wait, so you mean they were adults? While Nick himself is in his mid to late 30s. What? Okay. Lollipop Chainsaw is one of those hack and slash gooner games. Not that gooner, but there's a lot of pervy stuff. It's fun, but it has a lot of TNA. What's TNA? Thank you, Not There, for the explanation. Okay, so it seems just like a, casual game. Bro, these people are so dumb. What do you mean? So they're adults? I thought this involved some minors or some shit. I like to cover some of the more egregious content there for those who aren't familiar with it. Dude, I feel like if some people knew how far apart my parents were in age when they got married, they would flip out today in 2025. I'm reminded of that Twitter post about a 25-year-old feeling stun-locked at being flirted by a 20-year-old. Are you serious, Namans? God forbid somebody that's more than 4 minutes apart for you in age gap flirts with you. How far were they? They're like 10 years apart. Yeah, this is a blue sky moment. I feel like if people... I saw this tweet the other day that was pretty viral. That was like, if people listened to all the... Fuck, how was it worded? It was like, if people listened... If people listened to all of those, Twitter posts about dating... No, it was like, I bet each and every single one of your parents have had one thing in their relationship that somebody on Twitter today would take offense with. Yeah, you can only date someone born on the same day as you, but not twins. TNA stands for biddies and booty. Oh, okay. Also, my name is not here. You have mightily made me go May. I will destroy Earth. Oh, sorry, it's not here. Well, don't destroy Earth because I need to... It's going to become my dominion. Oh, Kiko, my husband and I are 10 years apart. He's also a leap year baby. Society would be cooked if Twitter users actually went outside. Maybe it's better they stay inside after all. You said some of the Reddit comments give more context on the old controversies in the YouTuber / drama. Okay, so some of the most egregious behavior that Nick Nocturne has engaged with. Okay, first I'll read some of the comments. Hey, so as a fan, there's a few things in this doc that come off as misleading. It wasn't as simple as our names are similar. Oh, we're gonna get more clarification on this. Okay, so this is on the copycat accusation. Nexpo used to have a very similar channel logo to Nyx, which admittedly wasn't very original, and used to exclusively cover arg/unfiction. He admitted that he was copying the feel of other horror YouTubers at the time, Nightmind included. It was part of the reason he rebranded into Nexpo. Rainbot did reasonably come to Nexpo's defense, and as far as I'm aware, they worked it out privately. At least they were on enough amicable terms to where Nick appeared in one of Nexpo's videos making fun of the whole situation. He was called out for his association with Crypt TV, but it's such a minor thing. As far as I'm aware, it's never made it clear if he directly profited off Crypt TV or if he was just reached out to. It's worth mentioning that several of the influencers that are listed in the evidence Slime Beast provided did not make a video about Crypt TV. And then, the Alex Kister drama, he had a very good reason to jump on the bandwagon since he felt like he was too late in condemning Adam Rosner. He expressed remorse in both cases for coming to either conclusion too soon. For the Lollipop Chainsaw controversy, it's also a bit of a non-issue. Nick has been very open about his beliefs and his sexuality since nearly the beginning of Nightmind. While yes, we can talk about the problems of Depop's development, it's wrong to try and take the game away from someone who obviously enjoys it. He has every right to ban people from his streams for bringing down the vibe. Yes, if you're a streamer, you have every right to ban people from your streams for simply bringing down the vibes. Like, seriously. So whenever you see somebody make a big fuss about being banned, whether it's on Reddit, on Twitter, on Blue Sky, or whichever other forum, take this with a mega salt shaker. Then this dog decides, unless it was a sans chat. Okay. Then this dog decides to veer off into what can only be described as slut shaming. Wait, spoilers though, we just started reading this part. Like Nick has stated time and time again that he is not for minors. His streams were 18+. His Twitter account is 18+. He has never actively engaged with minor fans, and he has done a lot to keep minors out of space they don't belong. It's true, minors don't belong online, guys. They belong in the mines. Who else is gonna work the mines with their small, nimble fingers if they don't go work there? Yeah, like the Iron Mouse subreddit mod that was banned from TwitchSat, exactly. Bring up his not safe for work post, and work feels like scrapping the bottom of the barrel to make Nick look like he's preying on minors. It's giving no kink at pride sort of vibes. The only situation I can't actively defend him on his treatment of Nick's fears and a Max Landis situation. I hope he's grown and learned as a person since this event. Yeah, the Max Landis situation also strike me as odd since the guy was outed as a predator. That means a PDF file, right? And then he's still associated with him. That's kind of weird. And then trying to control like what his friend says, that's not cool. I admit I may be biased as a fan, but a lot of these feel like issues that just come from being a public figure on the internet for 10 years. Friends fall out, you make wrong decisions, you say the wrong thing, it just blows up 10 times by being someone that's in the spotlight. Oh, the Landis guy was exposed after the mention in the docky. At least the big expose article came out a year after. Oh, so it was after. Okay. I suppose that makes it a little bit less bad. I want to read the thirst trapping stuff before I read more comments. Especially if they're going to talk about that. First and foremost, Nick had to habitually engage in thirst trapping his audience on social media and live streams, as well as engaging in explicit sexual conversation with his supporters on private Discord servers, including both the Astraline server and his own Patreon Discord server. Some of these people on his server are as young as 19 or 18, and often in their early 20s! I can't! With minimal barriers to entry. There's a paid server. It's a paid server. What other minimal barriers to entry do you want? Well, Nick is in his late 30s at the youngest, based off posts he's made over the years. Here's a few of his public posts that can be viewed right now. Wait, the image has loaded for you? That's not fair. I would've... Oh, it's loaded. I would apologize for being the sluttiest cat you know, but nah. I must be more himbo than ever. Now the challenge is obvious. Okay, so he's talking like every single VTuber I know. You're the hottest demon alive. I'm aware. Thank you. Okay! He said thank you to a fan! Oh my god. It seems like this month's furry hot take is, squinting, furries over 30, let them in the fandom? Question, why are you be like this when 90% of you advertise yourselves as thirst traps for daddies at cons run by men in their 40s who made that possible for you? As one of several thirst trap posts made by Nick over the past several years. That's a thirst trap post. Okay, maybe for furries, this is a thirst trap post, but this is so fucking funny. This is hilarious. Is that actually the thirst trap post? Is it crop? Yeah, Bao would call this thirst trap. Is this crop or was it actually that? But even if it wasn't, nah, dude, this is the best part of the document so far. Not for the same reasons the OP intended. Yeah, I want you to feel my real fur. Rawr. Yeah, guys, please. Let's try to think of the 25-year-old children that have to witness this. They're being groomed watching this. An instance where he receives a not safe for work art commission from a Barra furry artist that he shared publicly on his secondary social media accounts and invited people to see the uncensored version on the Astraline Discord server. Oh god. Okay, that Bao would love this thirst trap though. She would love that. Well, oh my god, Jinx! Jinx! Well, this was certainly a moment to join stream. I have really good timing with other YouTubers joining my stream today and me saying some really funny stuff. Yeah, read and accept the rules is number 1. Choose a role. And go to Not Safe for Work Fan Art Gallery. I don't know if that Discord is 18+. Here's a post from the Discord server. I've censored the Not Safe for Work aspects of it for the sake of this document, but I wanted you to see what he said about it. The truly skilled and dedicated Amon Side took the horror host couch to its most after dark hues. Please enjoy and thanks again for all your support during debut. Another Not Safe for Work art piece he shared for Easter 2025. He also frequently referred to as Daddy or Cat Daddy by his closest followers on socials and streams. Oh, you mean, dude, the person who wrote this dog we need to shield them from looking at Vox Akuma's content. Not my load. And there are many instances you can find him taking advantage of this in his social media posts and live streams, with one clip asking, "What's the daddy called?" Okay, I'm gonna say this with a straight voice. With one clip asking, "What's the daddy called, chat?" being used in the opening footage for his live stream during the spring of 2025. On some of the private Discord servers that he participates in or owns, he and his moderators have talked openly about him in a sexual manner, talking about his talking about his monster cock. I can't read this without laughing. Is it me or is it getting hot in here? Talking about his monster cock on at least 2 occasions that I'm aware of. One of these was the Astraline Discord server. Unfortunately, since this page is no longer visible on the Ex-Astraline Discord server since he left that agency, I can't provide screenshots of his own mention of it, but I do vividly remember him talking about getting permissions from the other moderators of the server when I first began learning about all of his behavior in the earlier month of this year, saying Monster Cock is okay to share on the server. Why don't we have discussions like that in our mod chat? I'm gonna ask that to my mods tomorrow. Is saying monster cock okay on the server? Hey Rariobi, I'm a lady. What is made for parrot? Oh yeah. Let's try the monster cock chat. Yeah, how dare he gets permission before talking about his monster cock in the Astraline Discord server. As well as this snippet referring to Nick from his sole moderator on the server and one of his mods on his live stream. Hi, Professor Keen. Thank you for the Precious Squad resub. 17 months! Wow. The drama never stops, does it? By the way, did you see Legal Mindset recent post? He wasn't joking, Dan, and you might want to see it, Rima. No, I haven't seen it. Wait, what is it about? If I said it once, then I've said it at least once, but bears saying again. Monster cock, monster cock, monster cock, monster cock. That'll be all, thank you. I don't have a screenshot of this due to the channel and server not being accessible anymore, but he also had explicit conversation with fans about future Not Safe for Work art suggestion that could be shared on his Discord server. Look, if the fans were fucking 18 plus, I think it's okay. My eyes! We gotta send this to Bao. Oh no! They made a Dakimakura. Those body pillows! That's a very Cape Daki. Insane. It's the tongue, dude. It's very long. Yo, that's good art. This is why I wanted to read this document, by the way. I knew there'd be some good stuff in there. On Thanksgiving, Rima? Yeah. As well as the announcement on the Astraline Discord server to show that they all knew all about this as well. Oh no. They're trying to drag Astraline into this. Not the Dogo Daki. Thank you for the 18 months, Neymon. Thank you, thank you. A precious squad resub too. Oh la la. Metal Monster debut merch. The much awaited Spicy Monster body pillow is now here to celebrate Nick's metal outfit debut. The same art is also available in the form of mini Daki. Riz the Rabbits. Here is one of the most notable incidents in recent memories, and it's at this point I want to introduce you to one of my Nick's closest associate online in the form of Roy Chiaro. They all knew. Yes, they all knew about the monster cock too. All of Astraline knew about the monster cock. Yes, they did. He and Nick have done a lot of work together over the past year or so, including a collab they did on Nick's live channel on YouTube for the 3rd season of Angel Hair. There are several shorts you can find on Roy's channel on YouTube where Nick talks about always being at the baseline level of horny. More talk of being a himbo, and so on. I like this line. Always being at the baseline level of horny. I think I'm gonna start using that. It's a good line. From April of 2025, here's a stream in which Nick and 2 friends of his spent nearly 3 hours thirst trapping their live stream chat using their rabbit-based avatars, allowing fans to submit messages and donation to see if they can riz the trio of rabbits. Guys, I don't think OP of this doc is ready to discover VTubers. Like, oh my god. What's gonna happen if they discover Shy Lily's channel? Or like Bow's? They're gonna explode. They're gonna like fucking die in Minecraft. The video can be found here with about 3,000 views at the time of this writing. Nick has also produced sex. No way, guys. No way. Oh my god, this is absolutely scandalous. Nick has also produced sexually charged ASMR content with Froy on his channel, Cup of Dusk Audios, on several occasions. A full list of his collaboration with Roy in this type of content can be found here. We must listen to one on stream. Oh yeah, you're right. Which one should we listen to? Okay, this one's just called Heat. What does MMM for A mean? What is A? The A stands for. No, bro. Surely I don't get demonetized for this, right? Oh, it's anyone?
Phew. You know, since we all started coming here together,
This is important evidence we must go through.
I've been feeling a lot better. Sore, sure, but better all around.
Same, though. I mean, isn't there like some kind of study about working out and mood improvements or something? I'm with you. A good workout just does wonders.
I mean, as long as you enjoy the workout, it's not really going to help anything if you try and do a workout you don't enjoy.
Yeah, but I like working out with both of you. I got nothing to worry about. Yeah? I'm really happy we all decided to do this together.
We got lucky that we got these memberships for free with our jobs.
Yeah, where's the monster cock part?
Huh?
Okay.
We're gonna refill our bottles.
When does it get heated? Oh, maybe here where the line spikes.
Yeah, I don't mind. I did a pretty heavy set with the dumbbells, so I need to rest a little before I accidentally pull something, you know?
What weight do you want me to load?
Oh, load
Put on
mentioned.
200.
Okay.
You said monster
I'm
clock
gonna
50
pop down
times.
and do some wide push-ups.
Are you still worried being monetized? True. Not a year.
You ready?
You're right
I'll
about
be
this
right
one.
here to spot you. Just like I would for the bench presses, okay?
What's a Billy
If you
Harrington
want, I can
warning?
give you a kiss every rep you do. Yeah? Okay, go for it.
Oh yes, Ryubi, I'd love to do.
1. There you go. 2. Easy. Don't strain yourself. 3.
Mwah. What is going on in my ears right now? Guys, they're working out. They're working out right now. Nothing sus is going on. They're just working out.
Not gonna lie. It's funny how we all managed to sync up our reps.
I mean, it's easier just to fall into a rhythm with others.
This is just boys being boys, chat. I don't know why you're freaking out about this. Okay, I'm gonna skip around. This is wholesome content. Is he kissing his homie every time he goes up from his rep? I don't understand.
Hey. You were counting each other with kisses?
Oh, he was!
Save me some.
Huh? Oh. Interesting. Are you all,
Well, yeah. It just kind of happened, you know? We've all known each other since like middle school and somehow got into the same company. When we started working out together, we just kind of clicked.
That's kind of sweet.
No, this is literally Billy Harrington, Gachi Muchi Penti Wrestling. You need to look it up. Oh yeah, and Ryobi, I'll do a separate react stream.
A little jealous of that, not gonna lie.
Honestly, chat, I don't really go to the gym often, but yeah, this is exactly how I picture like going to the gym. When I picture people working out, that's what I picture they do.
Huh?
What in the
Am I a little
fanfic?
jealous? Well, think about it. You're already quite a hard worker and very attractive, if I may be so forward. Then you got 2 pretty attractive bunny men working out with you.
I say,
Quite a
thank you for the
cute
cute
picture seeing a
squad.
supportive
Thank
group
you,
like
thank
yours.
you. Welcome.
Well, I mean, you're pretty good looking yourself. It's clear you've been working out for a while. I'm jealous as to how much weight you can do with those chest presses.
Well, it's easier when you set up to go for longer and control your rhythm. If you want, I can show you.
Huh?
Oh, he's gonna do a demonstration.
You'll wipe down the bench. All right. Sure.
Why does a bench need to be
I'm down
wiped
to try
down?
whatever you have in store.
How wet has the bench
Now,
become?
I set the weight to be a little lighter. Push in strong and fast, then try to control it on the way out, nice and slow, for about 2 or 3 seconds.
Hot.
It's sweat, right?
Yeah, even they agree. Hot.
You're right.
Yeah, the dudes
That
have
felt
nice
pretty
audio
good.
quality to their
See?
mics. A nice
People
voice.
like to think it's all about the speed and just going fast, up and down with no thought to it. But you really work the body better
There's
with
a-
a mix of speed and going slow.
That's funny,
So you
Jinjix.
really feel it. If you want to build muscle, you've got to know control and pacing.
Yeah. All right.
Did he just somehow get hotter? Right?
I don't know. The weights look really maybe too heavy for him. If he's grunting that much, maybe he should lift something lighter.
3 of us. And I'm perfectly
Happy
fine with what I
Thanksgiving.
rock, but I know you've been wanting to try and outsize him.
Really now?
I got my hands up. I swear, I got them up.
Do you mind if I respectfully look to see what kind of routine you'd need? Well, specializing your glute routine would help. It just so happens I plan to do glutes tomorrow, so why don't you join me?
Us too. We're a full package.
Yeah, no one's died yet, so my pants stay on.
I mean, we could also learn a little too.
Oh, this guy
I'm
is
straight
the
up coming
this. Oh wait, I cut in the best sentence. This guy is like the shy uwu boy.
to watch you work your butt.
Dude.
It's alright, I can teach all of you.
He said, "I'm
As
coming
they-
to watch you work your butt." That pause.
Thanks for letting me join you all today.
That was
I
a
don't
perfect
mind
cut.
if it helps you all feel better in whatever way you see fit. Huh? Do I want to keep working out with you all? Yeah, you seem like a fun group.
Another hot guy in the group, a cat guy at that.
Oh my god, another hottie.
Well, as long as you're okay with it. I don't see why not. We could learn a lot together. But I still got the best ass of the group.
That was great. That was actually great. Make you beg. Let's sweat. Let's get physical. Physical. I hope OP of this Google Doc knows that there's a lot of ASMR like this on YouTube. This was weirdly... I know! It was kind of wholesome. I expected it to be even more kinky. But it was just bros being bros. In May of 2025, Nick began producing sexually explicit audio porn for a paid subscription service called Magic Wave. It was bros being hoes. These involve Nick. Oh wait, I need to put my music back on. These involve Nick's either performing on his own and interacting with the listener or engaging in scenes with such others such as Roy Chiato and V.A. Michaela Laws over the course of the summer this year. Here are some of the ads provided for his work on Magic Wave, all posted on social media. Nick only promoted the first one or two he did, but Magic Wave has continued to advertise them whenever he makes them. Okay, so it's Roy Chiato and Nick Nocturne Not Safe for Work collab. Need something to calm your mind, surrender yourself, devoted acolyte, and his latest audio. A lot of people, so is it on Patreon? A lot of people do these Not Safe for Work audio ASMR behind paid services. See, it even says here 18 plus, just a typical recording session. Ordering some fresh cream with your coffee. I can't read the word cream the same since we did that Vox Akuma stream with that one fan that said they would cream their pants. She said, I'm screaming, and then she put the S in parentheses, so it was only creaming. I was like, lol. Clever though. Clever use of the parentheses. Grooming and manipulation. Okay, surely this part will have something we can sink our teeth in. During the course of my exploration of this content, I was contacted by a former patron that supported Nick in 2023 and 2024. They recounted and provided receipts to demonstrate that Nick had initiated contact with them. They expressed several times that they struggled with borderline personality disorder and that Nick tried to act as a quasi-therapist while continuing to maintain contact over an extended period of time. Here is their personal retelling of their experiences with Nick. A lot of the stories covered with DMs I shared, but I do have my own perspective about the entire experience I had with him. I did read back through the DMs myself, and I feel like with him being a content creator, I found his behavior very appalling with how much he tried to act like an emotional therapist throughout the entire DMs. He should have had the forethought to not initiate any conversation with a fan on his end. Though I will speak. Though I do want to provide some context to the DMs to put in frame and how things begun. I was a fan of his since around the time he made the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared video. and I followed him for a couple of years afterward. I think I might have stopped watching him in 2019. I believe the reason was just that I lost interest in his videos. I only picked up watching him again during October of 2023, and I noticed he was doing VTubing, with me catching his streams a couple weeks after he joined Astraline. I really got into his streams about unfiction and wanted to catch back with his videos. I fell head over heels with his newer content and decided to join his Patreon Discord server. I'm gonna drink some water. My first contact with Nick was when I was doing a bit of lighthearted joke in the server saying that I'd pay $500 to have Nick record Hypno ASMR content for me, and he immediately opened DMs asking more about the details regarding the commission. That's at least some backstory to the DMs themselves to provide some context for how everything kicked off, and their final thoughts about it. Looking back over my time with Nick, I feel that he emotionally groomed me for the purpose of monetary gain from my own financial contribution. He took advantage of the fact that I have BPD and attempted to lure me in with the parasocial dynamic he was building with me. He claims that he did not want a parasocial dynamic with me, but his action contradicts his claim. Responding and interacting with me through those DMs, he crossed that creator to fan line multiple times with me, and I generally feel hurt and traumatized because of that fact. I can no longer trust any creators because of my experiences with Nick, and I remain hesitant to enjoy any unfiction media because it reminds me of him so much. These are read starting from the bottom. Okay, what kind of hypnosis are we talking about? Well, I do have my preference for sleep hypnosis myself. I mean, if you're open to that stuff, I'd be more than happy to go more in depth with it. I'd like to know more what's out there in the audio field this way. I'm here for the conversation. You're good to tell me. And by the way, it's okay to jar the figure. I'll take the payment through Patreon. Just an easy uptick in the patronage should, I think, automatically go through as if it were directly PayPal. I know you said $500, and anyone else would maybe tell me to just say yes and proceed, but I do want to make sure is that your comfortable offer. This is custom, but it's my first time offering something direct in this matter as a dedicated work that I'd give NM audio treatment. No worries. I mean, it was a bit of a hyperbole on the price, TBH. I do sometimes have the tendency to do that, like realistically, maybe closer to $350 to $400, if that would be okay with you. I do have money coming up sometimes mid this month from a hackathon I was at in New York City last month. What's a hackathon? So they'll cover all of it. I'll let you know when they go ahead and send over the deposit, and we can get started from then. Sounds good. And hey, if you're getting a figure, I can roll with 350 easy. Okay, so they're talking about an ASMR commission. What? These DMs prove nothing. Responding to a fan doesn't necessarily feed the parasocial dynamics. Where's the therapeutic stuff, the therapist stuff? This is just about the commission. This is professional so far. It's a convention for hacking, and he made money there? When did he hack? This individual also claimed that there were another person who doesn't wish to be named here who went through a similar experience, going through many of the same struggles and interacting with Nick in the same way. Section 2 conclusion. If you give me $350 from an ASMR commission, I will slurp and glorp that mic. Some see these things as merely another form of content and expression, but I disagree. Oh my god, this person is so Puritan, especially since he and many of his close friends in recent years have financially benefited from thirst trapping and engaging in these behaviors with their audience. Does everybody here are wearing pearls that they can clutch right now? As demonstrated in his response to the Alex Kister situation, Nick perfectly understands how power dynamic works between content creators and their audience. From my point of view, he has exploited this power imbalance constantly through the years of his own gain and personal satisfaction, taking advantage of people in the horror and furry communities, who are often 10 years younger than him and sometimes nearly half his age, who have followed him and his work for a while. This is a significant difference between creating a safe and open space for the free discussion of sexuality without judgment or prejudice, and thirst trapping your audience for financial gain and sexual satisfaction on a regular basis over the course of years. Bros, if I could read this with Shondo's voice right now, it'd be like so fucking funny. For this final section, I want to revisit the incidents that occurred through this career up to this point, at least those I'm aware of, in each and every instance where the backlash was great enough. Nick was compelled to write some enormous response for each and every single one. Some of these are worse than others when you begin reading between the lines. When you begin reading between the lines, this came to him in a delusion. But they are his own words. Except they're not, because you're saying you're reading between the lines, so you're not basing your judgment off his exact words. You're basing it off what you assume they mean. I think these already speak for themselves, along with the response to them. I'll ask you to withhold judgment on these until you've seen them all, because there's a pattern that starts to emerge that I'll talk about in my closing remark on this section. How many closing remarks are you gonna do? Am I reading the Cinder doc again with like 3 conclusions? Despite Nyx telling Nick she didn't want an apology from him, Nick posted this after the truth was revealed in Nick's post, trying to control the damage and say his piece. Oh yeah, this is the apology to Nyx. Okay, let's see. And Nyx was the person that he accused of copying. Nyx fears, apologies, clarities, and ending. Before we get into absolutely anything, I need to address something extremely important. I'll start with preparing for the endless wave of harassment and but Nick's feelings bullshit I'll be enduring when this apology comes out. This comes from Nick's personal Tumblr. I will make something very clear right now that I'm taking extremely seriously. She shouldn't have to prepare for any harassment from anyone in my community or those affiliated with me. People will say what they're thinking or feeling, their own private space and on their own social media accounts. I can monitor or control that and acknowledge they have their full right to speak their mind. Criticism and opinion is inevitable, and I won't attempt to control that or force others to refrain. Wait, how long is this? Okay, no. This is its own Google Doc. Okay, I'm gonna do something, chat. I'm gonna chat GPT. I can't. Summarize this. Core issues raised. May's experience. During Nick's visit in June 2017, May experienced multiple violations of personal boundaries. Nick's behavior during a joint livestream include invasive use of a hand puppet, physical touch without consent, and interacting. Wait, we know the core issues because we read about it. Okay, Nick's public apology highlights. Admission of wrongdoing. Nick openly admits to a wide range of toxic behavior, being inconsiderate, disrespectful, abusive, narcissistic, and toxic, both privately and publicly. He does not excuse his action, accept full responsibility for the pain he caused May, her girlfriend, their friend, and his own community. Apology to May. He explicitly acknowledged that his behavior triggered severe gender dysphoria for May, caused humiliation during the livestream, and harmed her sense of safety and trust. He apologized for touching her belongings, laying on her bed, and making toothless jokes during their time together. Commitment to peace. Nick condemns harassment or threats towards May and her community and pleads with his followers not to engage in conflict. He claims to have already warned his own community members against retaliation or attacking anyone involved. He asked May to send him proof if anyone on his side harasses her so he can address it directly. He disputes certain claims. While owning his faults, Nick refused 3 specific accusations regarding the hot conversation, his intentions during the stream, and how post-stream conversations unfolded, offering clarification while maintaining his apology. We need to use AI more in the future. when it comes to summarizing these long things. So yeah, so that beef was squashed. That beef was squashed. Like, it was, they actually buried the hatchet. And settled it. Which is probably why she deleted that. Response to Dead Palette. This is discovered in the section regarding Dead Palette and Slime Beast earlier in the doc, but I'll reiterate that Mick posted response doesn't present the entire picture. Slime Beast's own documentation in response to Nick's post about it shows that he wasn't telling the truth about the entire situation and presented himself as far more of a victim than he really was. So this one might be the, you know, his biggest yab. Ashes 2018. This is an apology that Nick wrote to his subreddit at the end of 2018. In it, he describes wanting to put the character of Nick Nocturne on the sidelines and focus on the works themselves. Something that he later backpedaled and, as you've seen by now, fully embraced his character. Something you might notice if you sit through a lot of this, that he's repeatedly made remarks over the years about feeling rejuvenated and feeling as he did back in 2015 when he first covered Marble Hornets. The sentiment appears... What? I don't understand. What is wrong with this? Let's see, what is this? Oh no, it's another long-ass apology. Ashes 2018. Dark is fun when it's used right. Dark is anything but fun when it's completely without light. This year has been quite dark at a number of moments, and I'm the one that's supposed to be carrying the flashlight for the group so we can have fun in the dark. I'm responsible for this haunted house, and when it hasn't been boring, it's been depressing and miserable. At points, I think of fondly, but as a whole, looking at the past year and the way things have gone, I have to turn all of you with everything you've had to say at the end here and leading up, and say this in response to all the comments and disappointment. Yeah, you're right. I haven't been fully myself this past year. In November, I fell down a hole. When you're down a hole, you're lost, you wander, you play around, blah, blah, blah. You wander some more and try to have fun. What is wrong with this post? I don't really understand. What was the ash thing again? I feel like he did not even address that. It's just him saying he's depressed. He wants to be a creator and artist more than he wants to be any sort of personality on camera. Playing character and feeling need to be gross. Okay. This is too much yap. I want the old me back. Okay, so basically, I don't understand what's the point of he's trying to make. He's just trying to make the fact that this guy keeps tiptoeing back and forth, I suppose. He's like, you said you were gonna put the character of Nick aside, but then you fully embraced it. How dare you? Nick reflects on a dark difficulty year marked by creative burnout and personal struggles, feeling disconnected from his true identity as a creator with Night Mind. He admits to have lost his inspiration, falling into a rut, relying too heavily on his on-camera persona, while his authentic passion faded. Comparing his journey to being trapped in a hole, he describes the frustration of trying to climb out while producing content that didn't resonate with his original creative spirit. However, a slow and painful recovery process he's discovered what truly motivates him. Deep, immersive content that speaks to the heart of Night Mind. Now free from the constraint of forced character work and uninspired topics, Nick is ready to return to his roots, embracing the art that fuels him and promising a renewed, authentic era of Night Mind where the content, not the character, is front and center. There's literally nothing wrong with that post. Nothing wrong. This is ridiculous. Nick's full apology regarding his handling of the Tribe 12 situation and his defense of Adam Rosner early on. The response to this was quite negative, with people rightfully pointing out Nick plays the victim here. He deleted and tried to remove this one, but it has been archived. It's not really loading for me. Yeah. Response to the Repop drama. Here's Nick's full response regarding the most recent drama surrounding his behavior towards fans when he was called out for being condescending and disrespectful to fans, raising concerns. This is a matter I'd like to firmly address immediately and in depth. I do so because silence only allows for worries, misunderstanding, and fears. I get people hurt, confused, and upset, and may enable arguers on my behalf I do not want and can perpetuate undue stress. That's it. These evidence are dog shit. The Twitlonger apology ended up loading. We can also summarize that. The speaker publicly condemns the alleged abusive actions of Adam Rosner, creator of Tribe 12, following multiple serious allegations, including child grooming, essay, and manipulative behavior, shared by victims and supported by testimony and evidence. While clarifying that Rosner had not been legally convicted, the speaker affirms full belief in the victims and outlines the reasons for their initial silence, concern for the mental health and well-being of those already traumatized by coming forward. They described the emotional toll Rosner manipulations took on them personally, including being coerced into supporting him during the fallout. So he says he was coerced by Rosner into supporting him during the backlash. After gaining consent and support from victims, Nick now openly denounces Rosner's action, his lack of accountability, and the harm caused to individuals and the broader community. So this is that one controversy where at first he backed him up, but then when more evidence came out, he condemned him. Nick was accused of essay and child grooming and manipulative behavior. It's some pretty serious accusations for that one. But Nick is accused of interacting with adults and monetizing his audience, which is, I mean, it's kind of what you have to do as a content creator. And everybody in his audience is a willing participant too. I mean, it's like they have free will. Unless he's the ultimate Rizzler and he's mind controlling them all. Every single time Nick has been called out for his behavior and received enough backlash to force a response, he has let loose with these enormous verbose apologies to protect himself, pleading that he knows that he's made a mistake, taking responsibility, attempting to validate the feelings and concerns of those he's wronged, saying that he will treat it as a learning experience, promising to do better and improve, checking all the right boxes to try to convince people that he sincerely regrets his actions. But people who sincerely wish to learn from their mistakes and strive for self-improvement don't need to keep making the same apologies and promises almost every year for nearly a decade with a different coat of paint. It cannot be excused by inexperience or isolated lapses in judgment. Regardless of whether he has made amends with the affected individuals mentioned in this document or not, this is a consistent pattern of behavior that has repeated itself again and again. Every time he smooths things over with someone he has hurt, there's always someone else who is negatively affected by his action and behavior. Monster cock! Sorry, I just wanted to break the monotony of the doc for a bit. To this end, I see these enormous apologies he's made as an exercise in damage control. He has consistently shut down discussion about his behavior over the years, along with harassment from his most dedicated fans to avoid consequences for his actions. Knowing that he needs to do something to quell the backlash before things gets too big to control. Oh, is that a pun? Is that a pun on Monster Cock? Controlling the narrative for his own benefit, deleting and hiding anything that he's posted that was poorly received to save face. Using the idea of being mature adults several times throughout these incidents. It's not an idea. It's a fact, though, that they're adults. Maybe not the mature part, sure, whatever. But factually, they're adults. Beating sick to stifle further discussion and criticism towards his action, encouraging people to let things go because he wants people to forget with how little attention has been paid to these. Okay, listen, every time there's a controversy, it's kind of like the strat for content creators to only address them once and then not speak of them again. Like, why would you keep it simmering when it's already cooked? Overall conclusion, the reason I've chosen to commit to compiling this Google Doc and the reason I want to put all of this out publicly for the world to see is that this is not the type of person I want representing this genre or the community surrounding it. Especially as he has started to become more elevated through his voice acting roles and connections to other influential figures. I want to be clear, Nick has done a lot of good things in his career. He's shined a spotlight on many underappreciated artists, promoted this medium in a lot of ways, and been public about his supports of marginalized groups. These are all good things. But Nick has also hurt, harassed, and exploited many people in the community with far less power and influence that he has enjoyed in a cycle that continues to repeat itself again and again, hiding and deleting any evidence that's available to prevent himself from looking bad. Taking everything has been compiled and documented here. This is not the sort of person I want to represent this genre or this community any longer. Taking all of this in hand and the conclusions I've arrived at based on everything that I've seen here, I implore you to make your own judgments and evaluation based on all the evidence statement that has been made here. You know what? After reading this nothing burger of the document, I understand why it's been deleted from YouTuber drama. Let's look at what people are saying real quick, because I feel like some of these comments probably give a lot of context. Ah, okay, we're not crazy, chat. The other people agree with us. Thank God. Yo, if Reddit thinks this is a nothing burger, and Reddit is like sometimes pretty woke based, maybe it's the fact it's really late over here, but I'm gonna be honest, this feels like a complete nothing burger outside of a select few things. See, they also think this is crazy. Like, yeah, it seems like in the past he's been a dick and he definitely did some unacceptable things, but like some of this stuff seems like he got forgiven for by the people involved, or it's so old, like being defensive over name similarities that honestly, who cares? Now that's not to say he's some blameless victim, but his document is definitely deliberately bloated just to seem bigger than it is. The whole not safe for work section might as well not exist. Well, that was the best section though. I think that, for me, I think the entire document should have been just this section, but not, my goal is not the same as the person writing the doc. But yeah, they had no claim in that not safe for work section. It was all so fucking stupid. But it was so stupid that it was interesting to read it. It's not like he's a Minecraft YouTuber who makes child-oriented content or something. If being a little freaky, not even on main really, is enough to be put in a doc, then fuck me. Yo, I like this user. True. I guess what I'm trying to say is being egotistical and self-aggrandizing jerk obviously isn't cool, but I don't think it's a document worthy, and the parts that could be just like overall information. Very well said. I think that's my take too. Exactly that. I think we should write a Google Doc on the OP of the Google Doc for making us suffer through this. But hey, at least we had fun. I'll be real, so much of this feels like a nothing burger, especially the bit about a fan feeling groomed because they commissioned not safe for work ASMR. Even the DM shared were very professional, and I do not care if he does sex work for adults or if he commissions porn of his persona. Even the Discord stuff is largely irrelevant because I don't care if you post not safe for work stuff on the 18+ server or don't want. True. Yo, the vent channel was so fucking stupid. You don't get to put the fact that somebody doesn't want a vent channel in their Discord server in a Google Doc. Like, come on. Can we up the bar for Google Docs? Frankly, the entire second half of the doc just makes me side-eye the entire thing. Yeah. Yeah, they did a furry commissioning prawns of their persona for their adult audience. So question, sorry if I come off as uninformed here, but does the sexual acting part of the doc needs to be here? More so does it matter? I think he presents himself as a child-friendly streamer, YouTuber in general. This one is specific. I don't think he presents himself as a child-friendly streamer / YouTuber in general. This one is specific is what I mean. I don't see anything wrong with this since he's not preying on anyone here and just doing his own thing. Otherwise, everything else completely agree with being in this document eye-opening and disappointing, honestly. Oh, this 171 upvotes? I feel like most of the stuff didn't have any reason to be in the doc. I take issue with this being a bit slut-shamey and pure clutching purity police. If you make spicy content for adults, who cares? It's apparently a damn good money. People go nuts for on-throw and furry content too. No shame there, get that bag. Call him out for being an asshole with an ego of the size of Jupiter, yes, but for being horny on main and monetizing the other consenting adults, that's just called good business sense. This document loses its merit including legit stuff with anti-furry commentary. Nyx, the bitching about names like Nexpo and Rainbot, the grooming victim, and Rachel seems like... No. The Rachel thing doesn't seem like valid complaint. Come on. Look. It seems like valid complaint when you only read the doc. But if you guys remember that first Reddit comment that gave more old context on some of these controversies, he comes off looking way less bad. Lollipop and some of the other situations he defended feels relevant too. However, if he does paid furry art and audio that is locked behind paid subscriptions, who cares? If he thirst traps without showing anything to promote said material again, who cares? It just come off like you're against furry since you keep mentioning how he doesn't hide he's thirsty or his persona thing is an incubus. Oh my god, I forgot that one of his claims was that his persona is an incubus. That's sexual. All of that takes away from what sounds like very valid things to be upset over. It really comes off like you have more of an agenda because you don't like him doing sex work and his actual issues, and that's hurting your cause. Oh my god, I saw that comment. That one's really funny. Yeah, Charlie's bang. It's on Charlie's tab. Yeah, that part that stuck me was some of these people on his server are as young as 18 or 19 and often in their early 20s with minimal barriers to entry, while Nick is in his late 30s at the youngest. Bolding, not mine. So, an adult-only Discord server? What age range do they recommend he change the server to? I do think acting sexual around 18 and 19 years old is weird as a middle-aged person, don't get me wrong, but they don't give any evidence of him doing this directly to an 19 years old. Just at a place where they're allowed because that's normally the cutoff for adults only. And what on earth is wrong with people in their 20s being there? Yeah, seriously. He seems like a massive cock, but Monster Cock mentioned. But every time they refer to him flirting with people half his age, they don't mean kids. He's just old. And by decade younger, they mean fucking 28. I don't know. I felt that they had enough material for him being a shithead without needing to imply he's grooming people in their 20s by just like existing as a sex worker and promoting his adult-only content to adults. As young as legal adults? Weird and creepy, sure. And I don't doubt that there's stuff that's grim in the dog, but should we everyone in adult team Discord be what, 30 plus? Do not access GILF content and OnlyFans if you're under 70. Somebody think of the poor defenseless 22 years old. I do feel like we take a lot of responsibility away, even from young people after they're, 18, because I'm thinking of myself at like 18 or 17, and I wasn't completely gullible and fucking stupid. I mean, I was stupid, but I knew what I was doing. It wasn't all quiet on the frontal lobe. Like... Yeah, it was just mostly quiet. You got your house by 22. There you go. All quiet on the frontal lobe means like there wasn't much thoughts going on. It's a joke, Aquarake. You probably knew what you were doing when you didn't know the consequence of it, but that's fine. I mean, we don't really know. Even adults do things where they don't really understand the consequences of them after. I feel like that statement can apply to a lot of different ages. I mean, look, there's smart young people and there's dumb old people too. It's not all relative to age neither. Rima, you're still all quiet on the frontal lobe. That is true. That is true. Yeah, he's allowed to be furry and gay. Yeah, I can get over how people in their mid-20s want to be seen as kids. I mean, even a young person wants to have experiences, and sometimes I feel bad that they're being like gatekept from a lot of spaces because they're young. Like, if they're consenting adults, I feel like they have the right to make these choices for themselves, and they have the right to make mistakes for themselves, as long as they remain safe. And, yeah, as long as they remain safe and they don't get, kidnapped or groomed by, like, a predator. This comment shows that he's made other posts, so maybe OP has it out for the Nick guy. Let's see. So this fan is claiming to be groomed because they commissioned a hypnosis audio from him that they explicitly consented to him making. Yeah, that's very true. If you hire a person to fix your sink and they do a shitty job, the plumber did not groom you. If you regret spending $500 on a service, the person providing the service did not groom you. True, we've really lost the plot with that word. Edit. I read the whole chat logs, and it is completely ridiculous. This is the tamest shit I have ever seen, and Nick is constantly setting boundaries and telling the fan that he's not their friends. He is only acting as the fan's personal therapist because they keep barging into his DMs and venting. Bella. Of course then. What the yes, Nick should have shut that shit down fast. Him continuing to talk with a fan after constantly telling them to get out of his DMs is not okay. I think that the only valid point the fan makes in their testimony, but to act like he was grooming you while you continue to talk to him after he told you no less than 3 times that he was not interested in being your best friend says more about you than it does to him. Wait, where did he see those logs? Because I missed that. Also, he canceled the commission because he felt uncomfortable about how parasocial the fan was being. So that didn't even happen. Edit 2. It looks like OP has a history of saying random unsubstantiated claims about Nick. Interesting, isn't it? Can't believe nobody has brought this up. Remember seeing one of Nick's streams sometime last year, but he believes that Marilyn Manson didn't sexually assault his victim. What the fuck, Nick? This guy just has a hard-on for Nick. I want to read the logs. Do I just not have the logs because it's an archive? I bet those logs were funny. I bet they were really funny. Yeah, parasocial people. Some people are harmless parasocial, and then as we've seen in some of my videos, some of them just, you know, flip. Oh! Fettuccine Alfredo. I resubbed a while ago, but I guess I can send a milestone message now, Lamau. This dude does indeed enjoy Nick. Yeah, he enjoys him. Yeah, he enjoys hate watching him, probably. Thank you for the Precious Squad resub. I'm not parasocial, my Oshis really love me. Okay. Well, that was, something. That was quite something. I think the person who posted the document should probably move on from this. I think parasocial is a trait that can further motivate either good or bad behaviors. You know what? I'd like to explore that line of thought someday. I think there's something there, psychology-wise, that you put a finger on that's quite true. Because people have done really cool things. By being really inspired by VTubers or other content creators and stuff like that. And yeah, but some other sometimes veer off the rail. I saw a great video about parasocial being on a scale not being black and white. Oh, can you post that in the Discord if you're there? That could be cool to watch. That'd be interesting. Yeah, we're all parasocial, but just to different degrees. True, like, there's some YouTubers that I definitely just watch, like, in a parasocial manner. Like XQC. Although I don't really watch him, I just watch clips of him. What the? Oh no, it's the Nick Nocturne ASMR is starting. Okay, Alright, I think that's it. Who should I raid? I saw Bonnie and I thought it was Bonnie Barkswell. I need to stop raiding in channels that are logging off, so... Seems like there's a new Arknight update. Alright. Thanks for hanging out, chat. I'm gonna go eat. So back on the non-nutting burger topic, I can't believe Necro's flat joke about Lisa made Brave Group sell off Chroma Shift and took down. True! You know that he tweeted again and said that he received death threats and harassment over it, so he was like, oh, it's not worth keeping up the tweet anymore, so he deleted it. Time to raid channels and members only stream. I need to get better at raiding. I'm sorry, I'm so bad. Thank you so much for hanging out, chat. I'm gonna go eat. Have fun. Thank you so much for making every stream enjoyable. And happy Thanksgiving. I love you all. Thank you for all the super chats, the gifted subs. You guys mean so much to me. Let's do a chill react stream this weekend and maybe an Uma Musume if news are slow. Love you, chat. Bye-bye.